back after a loss against Kansas State last Saturday out in Kansas City. Tennessee State took it on the chin at Memphis the other day. Stokely Chafee to jump for TSU. Simi should shoot for the Commodores. And we get started from Memorial Gym. Opening possession for Vanderbilt. A little bigger lineup, as we'll tell you about in just a moment. Poke away as connection was attempted to get it over there to Joe Toy. Knocked out a play by Trip Davis.
Nice 1-4 high look for the Commodores to start off. Simi kind of missed on the screen right there that didn't allow Joe Toy to get that open pass.
Saban Lee. Of course, Vanderbilt's had to adjust to life without Darius Garland, and certainly looks to be finding their way. Yanni Wetzel starting lineup for the first time. And the Commodores run out of time. It seemed like they sort of lost where they were in the shot clock there, Shane.
Well, it seemed that the point of that possession was to get the ball inside. Yanni tried to spin baseline. It wasn't there, and by that time the shot clock was running down. You got to make a quick decision there.
Kamar McKnight averaging 13 a game. Armani Chaney, the experienced point guard. Emmanuel Agbuda getting his first start along with Davis and Chafee.
Missed opportunity on a turnover right there for the Commodores.
Chaney cross court. McKnight close range. Shatu have position, and it'll be Vanderbilt's ball. Played about a minute. Take a look at the starting group for Vandy. That includes Saban Lee, averaging 11 points per game, 38 assists so far. The senior Joe Toy. Wetzel in the starting lineup for the first time. Matt Ryan, we talked about his shooting ability. Simi Shatu, 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. 10, 7, and 2 last time out.
Man-to-man full court press by Tennessee State as Simi gets to the basket. A little touch off the glass, showing his versatility.
First two of the day. Freshman from Burlington, Ontario. This highly touted freshman class. See Aaron Neesmith shortly. Down low, Chafee trying to split defenders in a whole bunch of trouble. They move it well for a three-point look by Chaney, and he cashes in. Came in at 31% from three. TSU on the board.
You're going to see a steady dose of this full court press by the Tigers, trying to wear down Saban Lee at the point guard possession.
Lee put it on his hip, banged it home. They're going to have a lot of that, aren't they, with Darius Garland no longer in the picture?
Absolutely. Saban Lee is a proven leader. He's a proven scorer, as he did it last year. I think he's going to be quite fine at the point guard position.
Is up a point, 2 minutes deep. 10th meeting between these two teams. Vanderbilt has won the previous 9, dating all the way back to 1973.
I see a steady dose of the side ball screen from Tennessee State.
From Steph Curry range, Trip Davis offline on the 3. Joe Toy, catch and shoot. Pops out no good. He's been shooting it well from 3 at 40%.
He's definitely been shooting the ball well this season. I love the confidence him stepping into that shot, even though he missed. It's a good shot for Joe Toy.
He's got to feel good about the way his senior season has started, with him being the only real senior on this roster. TSU resets with Chaney. 3 on the shot clock. Let's step into a 3. Knock it in. 2 threes early for Chaney.
He's a really good shooter, particularly off the ball screen. Vanderbilt is going to have to do a better job of showing with their bigs.
Into the shot clock 3. Tennessee State a 2-point lead. Good delivery inside. The jump hook by Wetzel wouldn't fall. He's coming off an 8.9 rebound effort in 29 minutes against Kansas State.
Good solid defense by the Tigers. Trying to get some early action right here on offense. What an advantage the Commodores have by having a guy like Simi that can push the ball. Even though he gets a turnover right there, he's putting a lot of pressure on the defense.
You like trying to get that early offense. Just want to make sure you get a good shot. TSU has got some good shots from 3 as Davis knocks one in. He came in at 48% from 3, and he's a guy Brian Collins said he'd really been impressed with the way he's progressed through this season. Guy from here in Nashville. Game's first foul will be against Tennessee State. Will go against Armani Chaney. And there is Brian Collins, Penny Collins. He was an outstanding player at Belmont, part of the Bruins' first NCAA tournament team back in 2006. He was at Illinois State last year under former Vanderbilt assistant Dan Muller and with Steve Forbes at ETSU. He is a Nashville favorite. You can tell that by watching his interactions with people before the game today. Got to spend a few minutes with him. Ryan, 3-ball. A little too strong. The rebound goes to Dejon Henderson, who just checked in.
Spoke to TSU's coaching staff about their game against the Memphis Tigers. They went up there and shot 13% rather from the field, and he knows that his team is a better three-point shooting team than that, and they're showing it today against the Commodores.
Buddha hangs, couldn't get it to fall. Shatu got another rebound. Right in Michael Littlejohn, and their leading scorer Dante Fitzpatrick Dorsey as well, averages 15 a game. Up top, 3 wouldn't go for Lee. Rebound cleared by Fitzpatrick Dorsey. Tennessee State playing well early on, leading by 5.
Not the best possession for the Commodores right there. They're going to have to do a little bit better job putting pressure at the basket and shooting those threes off of kickouts as opposed to just setting up and shooting one.
Henderson with a big body threw that one away, and will take us to our first time out of the day. 3 threes for Tennessee State early on, leading Vanderbilt by 5. Another 16 timeout here in Nashville.
He's a really good team, well coached, shot the ball well. But the Commodores came out with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and really proved that they can play some quality basketball against a quality opponent.
So the Commodores, Max Evans in. Aaron Neesmith, you see him up top. Freshman from Charleston, South Carolina. Inside, Cleavon Brown, who just checked in, has his first bucket.
Great no-look pass right there by Semi. We talked about his versatility and what he's able to do at that center position.
Meanwhile, on the other end, the threes keep falling. That time was Kamar McKnight.
Miscommunication in transition right there. After a made basket, guys have to be talking and get back and get guys picked up.
Neesmith saw Fitzpatrick Dorsey looking for that screen. There goes Shatu. Couldn't finish. Fitzpatrick Dorsey got the miss. 6-point advantage early for the Tigers. It's Damari Moore, another new player in, junior from Brooklyn.
TSU showing some poise, running their offense, not forcing anything.
Chaney, smallest guy out there. Stick back was there for Henderson. First 2-point bucket for TSU gives the Tigers an 8-point lead.
Big body trying to move down there in the paint. He comes up with the offensive rebound and puts it in over the outstretched arms.
Max Evans averaging 6 points and 2 rebounds. Shatu takes the corner 3. Bounces away, no good. It's been one and done on Vanderbilt's end, Shane.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing as they come down the floor. Anytime Semi is out there trying to shoot jump shots and pick and pop, they're not getting a lot of action at the rim from offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities.
Hit ahead goes to Brown, drew a foul. Well, both these teams going with pretty big lineups today. We saw Yanni Wetzel in Vanderbilt's starting group. Commodores 6'10", 6'10", 6'8", 6'7". See the group for TSU. You usually start Fitzpatrick Dorsey, but going with Buddha today.
One would think, looking at that kind of size, that Vanderbilt would own the backboards. However, the Commodores spend a lot of time and effort stretching the floor, have a lot of shooters on the floor at the same time. And anytime their center and Simi is doing that pick and pop and staying around that wing, you give up that advantage at the rim.
Foul one against McKnight, his first. Second one of the half for Tennessee State. San Antonio native Cleavon Brown made 1 out of 2. Making 4 of 10 on the season from the charity stripe.
TSU's offense kind of starts off and runs some clock, get the ball moving, changing sides of the floor.
Contested 3, knocked in by Michael Littlejohn. Had a hand in his face from Maxwell Evans and buries the 3.
I think the reality is they're going to shoot threes, and so the Commodores cannot afford to stand back and allow them to shoot the basketball. They got to get up tighter and take that shot away.
Evans rescued along the baseline by Neesmith. Wing 3 on the money. Evans got it back and stuck it home.
Max Evans, a really good shooter, good scorer. freshman guy comes in, sophomore, and he's a really good player. He's good size for that position, playing backup point guard because Darius Garland is hurt, but he's a guy that's plenty capable.
Telegraph pass. Neesmith and Fitzpatrick Dorsey. Comes out back in Tennessee State's hands. Series of fakes. A leave and a layup. That was nicely done by Moore to set up Chafee.
Broken offensive play ends up working out in the favor of TSU because of their unselfishness. There are two guys that could have forced a shot. They chose not to, and it paid off for them.
Matthew Moyer making his first appearance for Vanderbilt. The Syracuse transfer has been pretty effective. His first stretch of games. Neesmith had it blocked. Tennessee State playing with confidence.
Neesmith made up his mind that he was going to shoot that ball after he got off that screen, and it wasn't open. He shot it anyway and got it blocked.
A little heat check there for Trip Davis. Evans couldn't make it 2 for 2.
One of the things that happens when TSU team comes in and they're making shots, you're not making shots. Guys tend to get outside of the offense and just start launching threes, trying to get back into it quickly. That's not going to work against this well-coached TSU team.
Patrick Dorsey fouled on the floor. Tennessee State up 9 with a
Really backing off, daring the guys to shoot it, and they're saying, okay, I'll take 3.
It has worked for them so far. That's what they did in their last 2 games versus today's work. Came in shooting 33% and averaging 8 threes per game, so well on their way to that.
As a former three-point shooter in this gym, I can't say I blame him.
You're still a current three-point shooter.
That's true.
Tennessee State to increase the lead to double figures. Couldn't do so as Chafee tried the jump hook and a foul on the rebound.
Commodores fighting in the paint, trying to use their size to have an advantage on the backboards. They're going to need that extra effort, especially with the smaller lineup that they have out there right now.
Big Buddha got his first foul, 3rd for Tennessee State. Comes some pressure. A retreat. Lee will bring it up against Chaney. They're pretty talented point guards there. Chaney, the senior from Chicago. Another Chicago dude, Joe Toy. Neesmith steps back, short on the 3.
The ball only switched sides of the floor once in that possession. Commodores are going to need to make sure that they switch that ball to the sides of the floor and make the defense have to work a little more.
Patrick Dorsey, you saw him kind of hesitate. Usually it's hard to knock those down if you don't pull the trigger right away. Let's be out of bounds to Vanderbilt with 24 to shoot.
Saban Lee trying to do what he do best, and that is get to the basket. Tennessee did a good job of getting back on defense in transition and stopping that.
Get to the basket, get to the foul line too. Toy leans in, got it back, stuck it home.
Sometimes you just got to gut one out and get in there and fight a little bit and come up with a basket. That's what the senior does, and Joe Toy coming up with a basket for the Commodores.
7 double-figure games, 11 in each of the last 2.
A little bit of a curl action for the Tigers. Didn't work out. Into the shot clock, ball screen. Point guard gets to the basket, shoots it over, finishes 2.
Chaney has scored 8, set up by the screen from Chafee. A good start for Brian Collins' team. 8 of 17 overall. That'll be a goaltend. Give the bucket to Saban Lee.
Saban Lee, beneficiary of a bad decision by TSU right there. He does a good job of getting to the basket. The ball was going to fall short and hit the rim. Tennessee State bails them out with the goaltend.
Yeah, that wasn't going to be close to going in. It was going to hit the near side of the rim, wasn't it? A little over the midpoint in this first half. Tennessee State with the ball and up 7.
It's Christmas time. I'm sure Saban doesn't mind the gift.
Right. Up top. Keep firing from 3. at the top of the backboard after the miss by Davis. Love the versatility of Chaney, as Shane talked about. Foul on the floor here on Tennessee State. The team's fourth.
Simi Chaney pushing the ball in transition. How great it is to have a big that can get to the basket like that. And Simi letting the referees know that there's 2 on him. It's time for him to come out of the game.
Buda does pick up his second. Talking to Brian Collins, he said one of the things that concerned him most about Chaney is his ability to pass. Just really impressed with Vanderbilt's freshman big man.
When you have a big that can pass the ball the way that Simi can, as a defender guarding anyone else on the floor, you can't help. And Saban Lee taking advantage of Simi's passing ability. The little float pass to the inside, he gets to the basket and does what he does all the time, and let's get to the free throw line.
So he finishes and gets the foul, 71% from the free throw stripe. Foul went. It's Trip Davis, his first. Third in the SEC in free throw makes. Number 6 in attempts and 10th in the conference in assists. Entering this next to last SEC game as he finishes off the three-point play. You get Vanderbilt back within 4 with 9 to play.
I would like to see the Commodores step up their defense a little bit more, play a little bit closer to this team, and really take away some three-point opportunities, force them to get to the basket. They're not finishing a whole lot at the basket right now.
The miss was by Moore. Chafee got the rebound, and he'll get to the free throw line. Moyer picking up Vanderbilt's second foul. Chafee's a senior. He's from Oakland, California. 15 out of 22 from the free throw stripe. Had a double-double against Western Kentucky, but went scoreless last time out against Memphis. 2 double-figure games.
Really good player, plays hard, plays smart. Certainly a benefit for Tennessee Titans.
Lead back to 5. Commodores trying to beat him down the floor. Toy couldn't save it.
That's the thing about having a really good passer as a big man. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You just got to live with them.
I guess if you're running the floor, you got to be paying attention for that outlet pass to get there.
I think it was Denzel Washington who said you got to take the crookeds with the straights.
Kick back out. Moore trying that wraparound feed to Chafee. Deflected out with 10 to shoot.
Commodore's doing a really good job of cutting off those passing lanes after the drive.
Knight, yep, against Toy. Gotten in close, but haven't been able to finish. Commodores had numbers. Moyer did a good job to get the shot away and earn free throws of his own.
Again, Simi Chaney putting pressure on the defense, getting that rebound and pushing the ball down the floor. See him tapping it to himself, and he takes off. His defenders behind him, so we know he has the numbers. Probably wish he could have kept that bounce pass a little bit lower and away from the defense. Nonetheless, Moyer gets to the free throw line.
Moyer at the line. Moore got the foul. Free throw number 1, no good for Moyer, and that is his first miss of the season and made his previous 6 attempts. He's given this group a lift. He had started the last 3 games at double-figure games against Middle Tennessee and Savannah State.
Moyer's an energy guy for the Commodores. He comes in, he plays hard, he plays smart, and really tries to up the energy level of the Commodore defense.
3 ball. TSU's cooled off a little as Davis misses. Cutting Saban Lee takes a pass. So we 1-1 coming up for Vandy with a foul on McKnight, his second.
Tennessee Titans are going to be fighting for some playoff opportunities. Love to see the Tennessee Titans fans supporting Vandy, supporting the Nashville Predators. A lot of athletic competition happening in Nashville nowadays.
No doubt. That is a huge game tomorrow night at Nissan Stadium. Saban Lee, his family knows about the NFL. Free throw no good. front end of the 1-and-1 out of the break. Dan Amp play some football.
Speaking of the NFL, Vanderbilt great Ralph Webb sitting in the stands watching the Commodores play today.
Over in the corner checking things out. Tennessee State has played well. They cooled off from 3 after a 5-for-7 start. In at close range, Fitzpatrick Dorsey, leading scorer, still yet to scratch.
Little Toy is going to have to shoot some of these threes that he keeps pump faking.
He might take that first one. Moyer. Neesmith rises up. Couldn't roll it home. TSU hits ahead. 3 was short by Chaney. Go back to Vanderbilt with under 7 to go.
You have to be a pretty confident shooter to pull up on that kind of a fast break when it's 1-on-1 and you shoot a 3. You're pretty confident in your ability to knock down jump shots.
Speaking of knocking down jump shots, Matt Ryan is back in for Vanderbilt. Toy and Neesmith check out. Also, Dejon Henderson is returned for TSU. Yanni Wetzel back in the Vanderbilt lineup too.
Press that you see happening by the Tennessee State Tigers is solely for the purpose of tiring out Saban Lee. And he's showing some energy left in those legs as he tries to tomahawk slam over the Tiger defense.
He was up there but couldn't get it to go. Looked off his man and said, "I'll take it at the biggest dude on the court."
Great poise right there, keeping his dribble alive and taking advantage of the slow hedge defense.
And this time offline again on the free throw. Made his first, has missed the last 2.
Commodores have missed a handful of free throws in this match today. The score would be a little different if they were knocking down at a higher clip.
He connects on 1 out of 2, makes Vandy 4 of 8.
Getting to the line is only an advantage when you can make them.
Tennessee State has led most of the way, up 3. Been in front by as many as 10. 3 off the mark by McKnight. They push it ahead, Ryan. Transition 3, there you go.
I talked about the confidence it takes to knock down jumpers in transition. Matt Ryan showing that the Commodores can do this at a high level.
Michael Littlejohn was trying to get over here and call timeout, and collision that sent him to the floor. There is Matt Ryan, his first 3 points of the day. 7th different Vanderbilt player to get into the scorebook. 39% from 3.
Matt Ryan certainly the best shooter on the Commodore basketball team right now, with Darius Garland being on the sidelines. But the Commodores are going to have to do a lot better job of finding him, getting him open, getting him off some screens or something. He's a guy that can knock him down at a pretty high clip.
Vanderbilt's made 4 of its last 5 shots to get even here with TSU. 22 apiece. In about 2.5 minutes as Tennessee State is putting this thing up. They've gone over their last 7 and 1 out of their last 11 after a hot start. See Darius Garland there in the great pullover. TSU trying to settle things down a little bit with a timeout.
TSU point guard at the end of that last play tried to get a flop foul called on Saban Lee. Didn't work out. I wonder if that's going to slow him down a little bit.
Here's Littlejohn. Henderson, I think, was ready, but able to regather. Jump hook misses. TSU will get another try as McKnight brings it back out. Long one, Littlejohn made it. Ends the drought for Tennessee State. Second 3 for the junior from Muskegon, Michigan.
That is the 3rd time the Commodore has dared the Tiger to shoot the 3-point shot and has made them pay for it.
Lee just got around everybody and got to the rack.
Saban Lee showing you a little majestic move Now you see me. Now you don't.
Pretty finish. See the shooting percentages. Tennessee State 35%, but leading by 1. Kind of made up the difference with 3-pointers. A blow by Fitzpatrick Dorsey, but it fell off. Here goes Chaney again. Bangs it home. We'll get a free throw.
Armani Chaney putting his head down, getting to the basket, taking the contact with a soft touch off the glass.
Second foul for Henderson, and Chaney going to the stripe.
Freshman center pushing the ball in transition, going and making it happen for himself and for the team.
See many big guys can do that kind of stuff.
Giving the Commodores the lead.
Knocks in the free throws, 68% from the stripe. Vanderbilt up 2 with 5 to play.
A little tickling of the twine from the free throw line.
High screen. Probably Knight might take the 3.
Saban Lee's not going to dare him to shoot another one, though.
Come on out here, play a little tighter. Little John lost him on the screen. Foul will go against Vanderbilt on the floor.
From the scouting report standpoint, Tigers are really good at shooting the three-point ball. They're pushing the ball in transition, but they are not as good finishing at the basket, particularly with contact. So if the Commodores can force them to put the ball on the floor, it will bode well for them.
They've got in there a lot of times, just haven't made very many of them. They made 6 threes on 13 attempts, including 5 of their first 7. This is a kick out of play.
Playing scouting report defense, you got to be content with just doing your job. If they make a tough shot, they make one. But if you do your job, push them to their weaknesses, then usually it goes well for you.
Fitzpatrick Dorsey took it to the rack. Good free throws with the foul going against Chaney, his first 4 for Vandy in this opening half.
Did a great job of putting pressure at the rim right there. And again, they're not getting and ones. They're not finishing those layups. I wonder if the Commodores are bailing them out by fouling and sending them to the free throw line.
Double-figure games for Dante Fitzpatrick Dorsey, the transfer from Ole Miss. Sat out last season and had a couple games where he's had 25 or more, including 26 at Lipscomb in their first game. 1 out of 2, and it was his first point of the day on a 15-point average.
Good player, has a really good stroke. And he's doing exactly what Penny Collins needs him to do.
Wetzel missed badly on the 3 attempt. Quickly the other way, McKnight lost it. Commodores run the floor. Lee has it broken up by Fitzpatrick Dorsey.
Commodores are best when they're getting out in transition and running. Saban Lee getting himself to the free throw line. Therein lies the difference. When you talk about scouting reports, Saban Lee is one of the great players in the SEC, getting to the basket and finishing at the basket. TSU getting to the basket but not finishing nearly as often.
TSU has really hung around with 3-pointers as Lee shoots 2 out of the break. Gone 6 out of 13 from 3. Vandy 2 of 10 from long range, but 10 of 22 overall. And the lead is 3 after 2 makes by Lee.
One saw a game last year where Saban Lee got to the line 16 times.
We talked about his ability to get there. That's a bunch. Fitzpatrick Dorsey walked.
Too many dribbles in one spot. My old coach, Coach Stallings, would normally say, if you can't get it done in 2 or 3 dribbles, you don't need to put it on the floor.
Yeah, pass it on to somebody else. Feels like a key spot in this game.
Oh my God!
Right down the middle to hammer it home.
Saban Lee got to the launch pad and took off. Sports Center, top 10, coming to you 8 p.m. tonight. You'll find Saban Lee right here in Nashville.
We have liftoff. Vanderbilt up 5.
Mama, there goes that man.
Well, there goes TSU's Little John. He missed. Vandy trying to put together a run here as we head toward halftime. Chattooga can get it to fall, but Lee got it right back, and the Commodores set it up for a Moyer 3 and it's on target.
The energy has come into the building. Started off by Saban Lee, finishing with Matt Moyer with the three-point shot.
Vanderbilt leading by 8 as Tennessee State calls timeout. The tomahawk by Lee.
Oh my God. He's a point guard with the stand out after the dunk. This is my house, coach, and I'm loving it.
Stokely Chafee did all he could. You just got to get out of the way. Vanderbilt. That slam and then followed up by a three-pointer from Matthew Moyer to cap a 12-1 run over 2.5 minutes. TSU led by 10 early. They're knocking down some threes. Here's a 3 by Moyer. He's really shot it well. That's a 7 3-point make.
Taking nothing away from Matt Moyer. He's a good shooter. But the type of momentum that happens after big-time plays is so infectious, and it carries the rest of the team to raise their level of play. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Commodores are able to go on a stretch right here and blow this game out the water.
Well, 14 already for Saban Lee, and we still got 23 minutes to play. And you're right, though, Shane. Not only was it fun to watch, it kind of woke everybody up in this building. There's a buzz after that play.
The kids are in here standing up. The grown folks are yelling and screaming. Got seniors behind me that are yelling and screaming. I love it. I love it, Kevin. This is what I mean about December basketball. It's a little cold outside, but it's a little warm in the gym.
TSU says, see if we can cool things down a little bit. Get back on track. They run their stuff. Moore commits another turnover for Tennessee State. Lead pass, Evans. Nice job to get that one in there. Evans has scored 5. First double-figure lead for Vandy.
Commodores are best when they can get out and run. Transition basket after transition basket. Tough steal right here by Saban. Great bounce pass, keeps it low so that the defense can't get it. Max Evans does the rest.
We talked in an earlier bounce pass about where it needs to be. That one's right there where it needs.
Absolutely.
In transition to get the layup attempt.
Whenever you're throwing a bounce pass, you want it to bounce and you want it to stay low so that the defense doesn't have a chance to react to it.
Ryan. So Saban, see what I can do. Maybe more suited to knock down a jumper.
Matt Ryan getting a little bit of assist from the rim. I love the aggressiveness, though. Anytime Matt Ryan's going in there trying to dunk on somebody, it's an exciting day for Memorial Magic.
Here goes Chafee. Ryan, one of the tie-up. Be a foul instead, his second. 5th of the half for Vanderbilt.
Everybody's smiling. Here's one reason to smile. Matt getting up there on the rim, trying to go above the rim. Doesn't get it, turns around, shoots a little fadeaway jumper. Kevin, I think that might have been more impressive had he made that.
Oh, the dunk, yeah. Trying to go baseline and posterize some people.
Oh, yeah.
Chafee made a foul shot. And one more coming up, 2 out of 3 from the stripe.
I will say one of the best dunks I've ever had was against Tennessee State.
Oh yeah,
it was. I drove baseline. They had this guy that was 7 foot, and I got to the launching pad, and I got up in the air before he did, and it didn't look good for him.
Ryan pops out, foul on the rebound. It's going to be on TSU. And Trip Davis will pick up his second. 2 free throws coming up for Vanderbilt. So it went better than that one you told us about in high school where you tried to do the windmill and it came up short?
You're not going to let me live that down, are you? See what happens.
See, I need some video of that. That's what we need to be showing.
It was destroyed.
Gracious. No longer exists. Moyer makes a free throw. We could do a reenactment. Doug Stanton suggested that. That's a great idea as Moyer connects twice. Vanderbilt leads a dozen with a minute and a half.
I'm sure that would look a lot different at my age of 32 than it did at 15, 16 years old.
Armani Chaney back in playing the point for Tennessee State. Limited minutes in the first half. And it ends a long drought without a basket for TSU as Kamar McKnight line drives one in there.
Missed travel call right there by the refs, unfortunately. Didn't work out for the Commodores as he knocks down the floater.
In about 4 minutes without a bucket. Two gave the three some thought. Jump hook was short into the hands of McKnight. Come up on a minute to go in a 10-point game. McKnight misses. Moyer lost it. Leaving a lay-in. Davis. Bryce Drew calls time.
Broken play right there. 50-50 ball goes to the Tigers, and they're able to get a layup out of it.
Let's figure out what happened to McKnight.
Semi did a great job of putting his hands up, not fouling in that place, but Semi Shatu is a big guy. When he's coming down with those elbows, you might want to watch yourself.
I think Moyer got him accidentally. They're battling for the rebound.
Benny Collins in the huddle trying to inspire his guys to do a little more of what they did in the first half that kept the game close. The Commodores are kind of push away.
First-year coach Penny Collins. He got the nickname. He lived in Memphis as a kid, loved Anthony Hardaway. Wore the jersey a lot. Got the nickname.
And got a chance to coach against him
just last weekend.
Just last weekend, and so I'm sure that was a highlight of his life and being able to play against or coach against a childhood hero. Those are moments you can't pay for.
Well, final minute to play, and it's been an entertaining first half. Tomahawk slam by Saban Lee gave Vanderbilt some energy. Part of a 12-1 run. Shatu short in the paint.
Penny Collins with the great coaching move out of the timeout, switching up the defense at least for one possession. Got the defensive stop. And they're going to get one of the last shots of this half.
Differential about 6 seconds. Chaney with 5. Corner look, McKnight. Well done by TSU. McKnight hits his second three. At the horn, Ryan. A little long on the three. For Tennessee State to be down only 5, Brian Collins has to be pretty happy about that after that big run by Vanderbilt and the big drought for the Tigers. 3 and 2 in the first half. Tennessee State gets the ball as half number 2 begins. Sort of adjustments we see. Opening minutes, Chafee. Nice spin move. First bucket of the second half. The senior from Oakland, California gives him 7 points.
Designed ISO in the middle of the floor. Trying to make Semi Shatu play a little defense. He went right at him, got some body contact, and was able to finish.
Shatu with the right. Working hard. Couldn't get the finish, but will get to the free throw line. The Haas first foul whistled against Chafee, his first.
Semi Shatu making it a point that he respond after starting the half. Guy went right at him. He turns around and does the exact same thing, gets himself to the free throw line.
So Shatu make a free throw to wrap up a 3-point play in the first half. 68% entering today's play.
A really nice stroke. He holds his follow through, is able to knock down some shots at the free throw line, which is huge for centers. college basketball.
Boy, if he has this form throughout conference play, it's going to be a big lift for Vanderbilt. 2 for 2. Came in 5th in the SEC in defensive rebounds, 7th in total rebounds, and 5th in field goal percentage.
CSU offense, swinging the ball, making the defense work, pay attention to everything around the floor. They're having to change positions. You see the double team coming on the post.
Chafee out a pass out of it. Got it inside. Buddha in the starting lineup today and has his first basket.
Semi's unwilling to foul in that particular situation, so he's giving up the basket.
Feed the post, Wetzel. Works against Buddha. Right around him for the slam.
Yanni with the slam.
Made his move, and it was over. Lead back to 5 for Vandy. Minute and a half played.
That's spin move, if done at the right timing, can really leave your defender in the dust. And that's what Yanni was able to take advantage of that.
There's a lob. Chafee couldn't get it away the first time. Commodores had it well defended. Buddha gets himself a spot at the free throw stripe with a foul going against Wetzel.
Here you'll see Yanni getting the ball in the post. Good post feed right there. And quick spin. Leaves him right there. A little bit of a chicken wing to keep him on your back. Up and dunking the basketball.
Maybe you keep that chicken wing down low. They don't see it. Foul shot no good for Buddha. 59% from the foul stripe. Brown will go in to replace Shatu.
Typically, as long as you don't extend that elbow, then the referees are going to let you get away with a little bit of physicality.
Buddha in the lineup today, off the bench the last 2 games after he'd had 4 straight starts, including games at Kentucky and Western Kentucky.
Steady press. Saving Lee trying to get it on the run.
Trying to hit the gas and move right on past this sort of pressure.
They're going to be disciplined and run their offense. Joe Toy. Pull up 3. Hand down, man down.
Yeah, use that screen to the top. Toy connects. He has been very good from three-point land at 40%. McKnight, open look. Couldn't hit. Buddha.
Trayvon Brown gave up on the box out. His man gets the ball and gets himself to the free throw line.
First for Brown, second for Vanderbilt. Buddha was just up there a moment ago, missed twice.
A typical box out drill that you saw just now, where Trayvon had the guy on his back. He did the initial box out. The ball took a little while to get up there, and he wasn't able to maintain that contact. Guy slides around and gets the rebound and gets to the basket.
Brown comes off. Moyer enters. Buddha 1 out of 2. The lead 7 for Vanderbilt with 2.5 minutes played. Lee turns the corner. Had it knocked loose, but a foul on Tennessee State.
Saban Lee again doing what he does best. Getting himself to the basket, getting himself to the free throw line.
This will be the 3rd on Trip Davis. Will result in free throws for Saban Lee, who's been there 6 times and made 4 today. 14 points on 5 of 6 shooting. Couple rebounds, couple assists. Talked about earlier, among the SEC leaders in free throw makes and attempts. He's had 3 games with double-figure attempts and made 9 each time.
A really good player, plays hard, plays with great pace, has tremendous athleticism for a point guard.
Vanderbilt's lead is 9. TSU led by 10 early. Vanderbilt's been ahead by as many as a dozen. TSU a little 7-0 run to finish the first half and keep it close. Up top, Chaney has found the range today from 3. That's his 3rd. He's in double figures with 11.
There's Bryce Drew putting his head down, not understanding how many times you're going to let a guy shoot this 3 off of ball screen because you decided to go under. Can't go under against shooters.
Toy squared enough to knock it home.
And likewise on cue, Joe Toy does exactly what I was just talking about. Guy goes underneath the screen, knock down the 3-point shot.
Wetzel creates the steal. It's a 3-on-1. Lee with another throwdown.
Saban Lee, human highlight in Nashville, Tennessee.
I thought for a moment there he might give it up. Said, nope, I got this.
That's a scary fast break when you got Joe Toy on the left, Saban Lee on the right. And you got to make a decision.
Lee decided to slam it home.
Usually
a good day with 18 points.
You think long, you think wrong.
Lead up to 11. McKnight lobbed it over to Chafee. Deep in the shot clock. Elbow jumper for McKnight. It's offline. A foul on the rebound.
A little off balance. One dribble pull up right there going left.
Foul on first 4+ minutes. Foul was on Max Evans as we went to the break. TSU will have a fresh 30.
Love the fact that Max Evans is getting some considerable playing time right now. Definitely going to need him to play well in the SEC.
Here he goes. I think Saban Lee's inspired some attacks at the basket here, hasn't he?
Everybody's getting to the launch pad and taking off. I like it. Vanderbilt Commodores taking flight.
Climb up there too. Agbuda got its 3rd.
We don't need a runway. We can take flight.
Evans is 11 of 20 from the free throw stripe.
Interestingly enough, Max might be a little more athletic than Saban. We've just not seen a lot of it.
Joe Toy on the athletic scale has to be at or near the top, I would think, on this Vanderbilt roster.
For sure.
See him staying above the screen there as McKnight worked into the lane. Turnover gives it back to Vanderbilt. Up by a dozen.
Joe Toy, strong guard for the Commodores. When he's knocking down shots, it's certainly an advantage.
Lee, the reverse finish.
Saban Lee showing you a little razzle-dazzle.
Starting to climb up into career high territory. Gives him 20 points. Fitzpatrick Dorsey. Really a quiet day by his standards as Moyer gets his 2nd foul. It's 4th for Vanderbilt.
Show it on one side, get to the other.
Vanderbilt an 8-0 run over a minute and a half. Travel on Chafee.
That was a clear trying to do too much.
And delivered the ball to Brian Shea, and Vanderbilt brings it up.
Didn't have enough space for what he was trying to get accomplished right there.
Wessel was short on the 3. Another slip, and this will be another turnover.
Some unfortunate sloppy basketball. Penny Collins Tigers not realizing it's a 14-point game. You really don't need big plays, just need to be steady.
Saban Lee gets a break. And a hand for the Vanderbilt crowd.
Well deserved for the young fella.
Aaron Neesmith is in. Evans delivers. Moyer finishes. Driving a dish. Vanderbilt opening up some daylight here, up by 16. A 10-0 run.
Good pass right there by Max Evans. Not forcing anything.
There's Little John. This will be a foul on Vanderbilt on the floor. Called against Neesmith, his second.
Kevin, we talked about this in the first half. It's very good for you to get guys getting to their best hand. Max Evans, left-handed scorer, is driving to his left, dumps it off. And then again, same kind of out-of-bounds play for the Tigers. Guys try to do too much in a small amount of space, ends up with a turnover.
Tennessee State's going to use a timeout at the 14-minute mark. We'll go as well. Vanderbilt 59, Tennessee State 43. Commodores on a 10-0 run. Tennessee State will head into OVC play after this. They open up against Tennessee Tech on Thursday over at the Gentry Center. Vanderbilt has one more non-conference game. UNC Asheville will be the opponent on Monday. We'll have that game for you. Pass a little wide. Neesmith tracks it down. Kevin Ingram, Vanderbilt great Shane Foster, producer Doug Stantner, whole crew. Buddy working hard as always. Toy. Could knock it down, but get a couple free throws. A foul whistled against DeJohn Henderson, his third.
A little bit of a outstretched zone for the Tennessee State Tigers. Trying to force a different look and get the Commodores out of their rhythm. Joe Toy did a good job of being aggressive there, attacking the zone, getting himself to the free throw line.
Swish on Joe Toy's first free throw attempt of the day, 75% coming in. At double figures if he can hit one more free throw. Good feature on Joe at halftime. Senior from Chicago, 2 for 2.
You got to think if the Tigers come out in the zone again, you might see Matt coming back into the game. Mr. Ryan is a zone buster.
Delivered inside. Henderson scored a bucket in each half. Good pass there from Chaney.
You know, Kevin, every now and then you're out of position and you just have to give up a basket. But you typically don't want to just give up a basket as easy as the one we just saw.
Corner look, Toy. Down the middle, Evans. Lay-in for Moyer. 10 off the bench for Matthew Moyer. Fitzpatrick Dorsey, about as clear of a path to the basket as he's had all day.
A little bit of a flop right there. Max Evans trying to draw the foul.
It was the first field goal for Fitzpatrick Dorsey. Came in averaging 15 a game. 3-ball and a swish. Toy does connect that time.
Good extra pass right there. Joe Toy, the senior, showing some leadership. Being a zone buster.
Drive, Little John, no good. Wetzel. Travel will be the call. I thought we might see him say Yanni took an extra step.
I don't know if that was a travel, Kevin. He's just long. He's 6'10". He took big steps.
Maybe it just looks like a travel.
I don't know about that one.
At the next level, that will definitely not have been a travel.
For sure. Euro step, Manu Ginobili.
He had it down for sure. Chaney from the foul line. Scored 13.
I like this kid, Chaney, Kevin. He's a smart guy. He knows what he's good at and controls his body and his pace very, very well. Can knock down jumpers off the ball screen.
Remember TSU's previous coach, Dana Ford, guy who brought in Chaney, saying he's just your Chicago point guard. What to think of? Toy, another Chicago dude, couldn't make the three that time. McKnight squared up like he might take the three. Fitzpatrick Dorsey. Loose ball gathered in. Igbuda tried to stick it up there.
Another bailout foul by the Commodores. They're not finishing greatly at the basket, but they're fouling.
Second for Brown, 6 for Vanderbilt. Commodores up 17 in the second half.
And it's got to be exciting for Coach Drew to have a guy having that kind of senior leadership for his team right now.
Sort of like he's looked at this and said, okay, it's my time. You know, we've had other 1,000-point scorers graduate last year. Now it's his opportunity.
Absolutely. It's now or never. These are cherished moments. Last year as a Commodore wearing the jersey, playing in the Memorial Gym. You got to go out with a bang. That's what he's doing.
And the Igbuda again makes 1 out of 2 from the foul line. He's a junior from the Bronx. A couple years at Navarro College down in Texas. Vanderbilt's lead is 16. Got about 11 and a half to go. In-town matchup. It's a takeaway, a Chateau. And it's stolen by Chaney. TSU with a break. I don't know if Igbuda was expecting to get it back, but got the finish. I think they're having cake and ice cream. If I hurry, I might be able to make it before the last slice is gone.
I know that's right. Even though it's cold outside, we're going to eat the cake and ice cream.
Oh, I'm all about that.
Love it.
I've had enough sweets for a lifetime in the last couple weeks. Chateau. The shot went airborne. He'll get to the free throw stripe. The foul against Igbuda, his 4th.
Kevin, I talk a lot about scouting reports because one of the things that I found playing at every level is if you force people to do what they don't want to do, most of the time they miss. So you don't have to foul. In that situation, Simi Chateau is a right-handed player. He's not shooting a whole lot of floaters or leaners or anything with his left hand, so you force him to go over that right shoulder. Just stand there. He's probably going to miss that shot, and then you turn around and get the rebound. Your work is done.
His first free throw miss after 3 makes. Scored 7 points. Go with 8 boards. Softly over the rim for 1 out of 2.
It's an unnecessary foul and giving up free throws in that situation.
Chaney. And it's sent away by Cleavon Brown.
Too many trees on the inside for the Commodores for him to think he was going to just go in there and shoot a left-handed layup nice and easy.
Yeah, 5'10" against 6'8".
Those odds are not in your favor.
Done plenty of other good stuff. Chaney scored 13.
Yes, he has.
Fitzpatrick Dorsey going to turn the corner. Neesmith called for the foul.
Fitzpatrick Dorsey getting to the hip. Once you get to the hip, you have the person beat. Anything that they do that deters your movement is a foul.
Fitzpatrick Dorsey came in averaging 15 points per game, but has only scored 3 today. A free throw in the first half and a 2-point bucket here in the second. Get the bonus shot. Started his career at Ole Miss. OBC Newcomer of the Week back in mid-November.
Really good players, a really good stroke, and typically leads the Tigers in scoring.
At the midpoint here in the second half, it looked like Vanderbilt was going to blow this thing open, but TSU has been able to steady things really a couple different times today when Vanderbilt has been on the verge. Here's a 3 by McKnight. Off target, into the hands of Lee.
Tigers didn't make Saban pay for picking his ball up right there. That's one of the trapping areas where you never want to pick up your dribble unless you have a shot or a pass.
Trying to break the zone. Ryan, he's a zone buster for sure.
Zone buster, Matt Ryan. Hand in my face, doesn't matter. Tickle in the twine.
Second 3 for Ryan, he scored 8. Chaney from the foul stripe.
Made that shot a few times today already. Comes up a little long right then.
Can Ryan make it 2 for 2? Anderson trying to hang on to the rebound and get it to a guard.
That Ryan seemed to rush that last shot a little bit. Didn't get off the floor comfortably.
Vanderbilt 23 of 46 on the day. You see the three-point numbers. A lot of TSU's work for behind the arc was early in the game. McKnight was standing on the baseline when the ball hit him. Be back over to Vanderbilt with 9 to go.
Just an inerrant play. Guys playing hard. Happens. The advantage of having a center that can bring the ball down the floor.
Boy, it is look out below with that guy in a full head of steam. Foul will go against Fitzpatrick Dorsey. There are just not many guys his size that can do what he can on the dribble at full speed.
No, there are not. Most of them get drafted, as I suspect Semi Shatu will at some point as well.
You're talking about making him use his right hand. How much does he have to improve with the left to really be an effective player at this level and at the next one?
Well, I think there's certainly an amount of improvement that needs to happen there. But the thing about the really good players is that they're so good at doing what they do well that you almost have to force them to go to their weakness. And you see that with Shimmy. He's done a tremendous job for the Commodores. And if you don't force him to go to his left, he's going to go back to that right hand, and he's going to average a double-double.
He's close to it today. 10 points and 8 rebounds with those 2 free throw makes. Under 9 minutes to play. Lead 18 for Vanderbilt.
Remember, there's a guy named Rodney Carney that played for Memphis, and the guy took 2 dribbles with his left hand for the entire game. He finished with 25, and I think he averaged about 17, 18 for the year.
3 no good for McKnight, fouling the rebound.
It's really no different than, a guy like point guard who plays for the Philadelphia 76ers, played at LSU. What's his name? I'm drawing a blank on his name. But, he came into our gym and scored 37 points, never shot a jump shot. Like guys that are really, really good. Yeah, Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Guys that are that good, they're going to force you to take away what they do well. And if you don't, they'll have a good night every night.
Ben Simmons, I remember that game. He is just so skilled. It's Wetzel at the free throw line after Egbuka committed his 5th.
I'll tell you one thing. I never scored 40 points and didn't shoot a jump shot.
I remember 20-point lead for Vanderbilt, biggest of the day after 2 free throw makes for Yanni Wetzel. 4 of his points have come since halftime. Up and over the rim, Fitzpatrick Dorsey.
Fitzpatrick forcing the issue, trying to make sure that his team doesn't give up, being an offensive spark for his team.
Lee, he has been the spark for Vanderbilt. Chance at a 3-point play.
Saban Lee doing what he does best. Getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line as he surpasses the 20-point mark. It's a great night for Saban Lee. Point guard from Arizona.
He has been terrific. Chaney got the foul.
I'll tell you how small this world is. I got a phone call from my mother a couple of weeks ago and says, "Isn't there a kid named Saban Lee on the team?" I said, "Yeah, he's our point guard." She said, "Oh yeah, I think I work with his mom."
Oh really?
I said, "Huh? Who says this?"
Mom will be proud of his work today. He's one off his career high. He scored 23. His career best is 24. Drive and a miss. Trip Davis ends up on the deck. Neesmith. Big step. Trip to the stripe. Foul goes against Chafee, his second.
And second of all, they may not taste nearly as good, but I have eaten my share. My wife is a tremendous, amazing chef. And I just made a decision one day that I was going to do things that I'm good at and stay away from the things that I'm not.
Neesmith at the foul line out of the break for free throws. Man, you look at those, you can almost taste those, can't you, looking at that video?
They look so good. But I've never had them with chicken.
Yeah, I haven't either. I haven't had them with hot chicken. Usually
it's a little different.
Alongside some gumbo or something like that. Lead is 23 for Vanderbilt. Get into the final minutes here. In-town matchup today, Commodores and Tigers. First time they've met since 2016.
Good effort right there by the Commodores.
Lee with the leave. Chateau had it blocked on him. TSU out of there with Chaney. Fitzpatrick Dorsey altered his shot.
A lot of bodies falling right there. Hard, aggressive move to the basket after the pump fake. Good athleticism to change the shot in the air.
Seven points today for Fitzpatrick Dorsey. So makes it 4 out of 5 from the free throw stripe. Now, what's your go-to Louisiana dish?
Oh man, they just opened a new restaurant called Bobby Hebert's, and it's seafood, and we love their crab cakes.
Number 7 to play. Saban Lee leading the way with 23 points. Got 4 players in double figures for Vanderbilt today.
A little too unselfish right there for the Commodores. Some bad spacing on that baseline. Nesmith should have been in the corner to allow for a space for that pass.
He will trigger with 6 to shoot. Deflected, and Tennessee State got the steal. Moore knocked it down, got the ball. Neesmith shut down that baseline against Fitzpatrick Dorsey.
And a lot of unselfish plays, but unfortunately it's the wrong play for both teams right now.
Trip Davis lost a sneaker. Lost it on the drive.
It's hard to get some lift when you're running on the floor barefoot. You know, the floors nowadays have some bounce, but I don't think they have that kind of bounce.
Well, this floor definitely has some spring to it if you get out there and walk around.
Oh yeah, Kevin might be able to dunk today.
It depends on how high the goal is. Well, Damari Moore said I might be able to dunk. It's turned away. We'll get to the stripe with the whistle against Yanni Wetzel a second.
Yanni Wetzel is not getting dunked on today. He'll take a foul before he gives up another highlight.
Well, it was pretty far out there. Offline on the free throw makes him 3 out of 8 on the season. Only 20 minutes in the game against Memphis. A season high 21 minutes in their game up in Bowling Green against Western Kentucky. Better on the second free throw. Vanderbilt leads 20. About 6 minutes left.
Zone 2-2-1 press right here by the Tigers. They leave Joe Toy open.
Hangs couldn't finish. Free throws coming up for Toy. It's a lot of foul shots as Stokely Chafee picks up his third. It's 10 for TSU.
I'm telling you, Kevin, there are few things more consistent than a scouting report. Even Joe Toy goes to the basket right there. He didn't think about shooting that with his left hand.
He was up in the air long enough to think about a whole lot of things. Misses the free throw. Man, he can really glide and hang
As long as those thoughts end up with that right hand, he's good with it.
Right.
And it's not that he can, it's just a level of comfort. When you're driving, your body typically just reacts to the situation based on what you do well.
There's always been one thing I've wondered about is when you get up there, how did you decide what you're going to do when you're in that spot?
Well, it's all about situation, and every single situation is different. And so if you drive to the basket and the guy stays on your right, then you're probably going to finish with your left. But at the last second, if he's fast and quick enough to get over to the left, then you hang in the air, get some contact, and then you go back to the right hand. So you keep it in both hands so that you can go either at the last second.
Wetzel and Chateau go off. Moyer and Evans are back. Chafee will have one more free throw. Senior, one of the players that Coach Penny Collins said he really liked his progress. 9 points and 8 boards today.
Good poise right here by the Commodores, being able to break the press.
See if they get a good look. Yep. Toy took off. Saw that baseline open, but traveled.
For a guy that's made 3 threes in this game, you would think he would have just knocked down another three-point shot right there. But Joe Toy, he's more of a driver than a shooter. He can shoot. He's definitely more of a driver, so he's always looking for the opportunity to get to the basket.
Chafee trying to get to double figures. Rolls off.
Again, Kevin, scouting report. Going back to that right hand. He had a nice layup had he gone up with the left.
Toy from long distance. Davis got the miss. Here, 5 minutes to play. Moore against Moyer. Matthew says, what did I do there?
Big first step.
Got to the hip of Matt Moyer, draws the foul.
Moyer thinking he had some pretty good defense. It's a free throw for Moore, who connects on the first.
Well, he definitely tried to slide his body in there to make sure that he couldn't get any more leverage coming back to the middle. But anytime a guy gets to your hip, any bumps at all is going to be a foul.
1 for 2.
Good space right here by the Commodores as they break the press pretty easily.
3 ball for Moyer. It's too strong. McKnight the offside rebound. With under 5 to go. Patrick Dorsey steps into a 3 and drills it.
Stepped into a 3. His jump shot looks good.
Came in shooting 39% from behind the arc, but that's his first make of the day. Here's Toy. Answers on the other end.
Joe Toy is not going to make the same mistake twice. Nobody's in his face is going to knock down a consistent 3-point shot for the Commodores.
Toy up to 16 points. It's hit 4 threes and 8 attempts. Timeout with 4:41 left. Toy, time to spin the laces. Drill that corner 3. Senior from Chicago. 16 points in 21 minutes.
It's a good night for the senior.
He's gone 6 out of 10 from 3 over the last 2 games. So that puts him at 10 for 18 over 3 games.
Got to produce. Once you get to this level, you're a senior. It's the last show. You got to produce. Make your presence felt on the basketball floor on both sides. Joe Toy has done a great job of doing that here today.
Game that's on TSU, red hot from 3 early on. Back cut. McKnight denied. Commodores defend the rim. Max Evans sets things up for Vandy. Vanderbilt, that 12-1 run in the first half, highlighted by the Saban Lee dunk.
So Toy.
Toy does it again.
Being aggressive. It's games like this that give guys the confidence to play even better in the upcoming games in the SEC. So I'm glad to see Joe Toy getting some confidence.
SEC play only days away. Fitzpatrick Dorsey has put himself together a nice second half. Although one of his points since the intermission. Naismith above the rim.
Joe Toy was calling for the lob on the left side of the floor. Aaron Nesmith takes it to the basket himself.
Anderson dug out by Evans.
Highlight city for the Commodores.
Evans tried to add to it, got the foul.
Is there a launch pad on the floor?
Oh, man.
Everybody's trying to get in on the dunk action now. Just an overall great kid. I'm happy for him to have this senior year to have some success.
Needs to be free throws for Max Evans out of the timeout. Gives him 7 points, sophomore from Houston. Foul was against Damari Moore, his second.
The shooter's roll around the rim for Max Evans.
Evan Ingram, Shane Foster. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Some football on a little bit later. Those two national semifinal games. 2-3 zone for the Commodores. With under 3 to go.
Probably a little too much patience.
Man, that was a long one missed by Littlejohn, but right into the hands of Henderson.
Cleavon Brown falling asleep at the basket. This man gets the offensive rebound put back.
Naismith from farther out. First three for Naismith.
The defender goes under the screen, you shoot. Plain and simple.
Moore able to split defenders. Fitzpatrick Dorsey got the whistle.
Again, bailing out the driver with the free throws.
Cleavon Brown picks up his third.
At some point, you got to force guys to finish and not give them the free throws.
Well, Fitzpatrick Dorsey, a chance to get his average. Came in averaging 15 a game and has that many after the free throw. Only had 1 point at halftime, but has done some damage here since the break. 7 of 8 from the free throw stripe.
Kevin, you think the Commodores will eclipse 100 points today?
Well, still got plenty of time. 2 minutes to go. Scoop and a miss. McKnight will get back to the free throw line for TSU. Smith got his fourth. I don't think we'll see Vanderbilt approach the 120 that we saw a few weeks ago. We did that game against Savannah State.
Yeah, no.
That was a lot of points.
Everybody got in on some of the action that night.
McKnight has his first point of the second half.
I will say it was games like this that I had 2 goals. I either had to get my average early and go sit down or have a career night. Those were the only 2 options. Anything less, I did not do my job.
Lead standing at 18 for Vanderbilt. Commodores led by double figures in the first half. TSU cut it down to 5 with a 7-0 run. But Vanderbilt's kind of methodically stretched out here in half number 2. Down to 90 seconds to go. Evans couldn't make the three. Brown gives Vanderbilt another try, and Naismith converts.
Aaron Nesmith, a good player, beneficiary of being at the right place at the right time.
Moyer flew at Littlejohn, missed the three. Pass behind Evans. One of those things they see in football. You throw it behind your receiver, you'll get him injured.
For sure.
This instead will result in free throws.
Yeah, that was going to be a 3-on-2 fast break going to the other side if he catches that ball in stride.
Whistled against Michael Littlejohn, his first. Four in a row for Evans. The chance to hit double figures.
Max Evans showing some consistency at the free throw line. I really do like the depth of this Vanderbilt team. Guys that can play multiple positions and can guard different positions, and some can knock down shots. Got good drivers, got good rebounding, you have some rim protection, a good balance.
And I think that's one of the things that Bryce Drew, he talked about positionless basketball, which we've seen more of over recent years, and kind of what he envisioned for this Vanderbilt team, and he likes these versatile players.
Absolutely. Whenever you have versatility, you got guys that can play any position and move around the floor, then it just opens up opportunities for everybody else on the team.
16 points for Armani Chaney.
I think having to play more point guard really has helped Max Evans' ball handling as well.
Naismith. Halfway down. Belong to TSU. The differential about 3 seconds. Mentioned Tennessee State will launch into conference play in the OVC on Thursday against Tennessee Tech. Vanderbilt plays Monday against UNC Asheville. We'll have that New Year's Eve matchup for you.
New Year's Eve, no better place to be than Memorial Gym.
See, we'll get it all done early so everybody can get to wherever they're going. Might have been the last shot of the day. Bryce Drew says that's all. And Vanderbilt will improve to 8-3.
And that'll do it for the Vanderbilt Commodores. Guys played hard, they played smart, they played together, and bring home a W.
Brian Collins has to feel a whole lot better about his Tennessee State effort than last Saturday.